Level test. Yes, this is Jack on the mic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Welcome to Segra Field in Leesburg, Virginia, where East meets West, alongside ex-Manchester United goalkeeper Gary Bailey. I'm Jack Edwards.
Right, we'll be looking at the lineup. Danny Vitiello in goals as usual. Through the back, Jared Timmer, Dami, Viader, and Shane Wheat. Okay. You can say ex or former. I think former runs off the tongue a little bit easier, but it's up to you. Yeah. Yep. All good.
Starting in the midfield, NFC Dallas homegrown who celebrated his 24th birthday yesterday, wearing the number 23, Khalil El-Medkar. Starting in the midfield of Philadelphia Union homegrown, hailing from Churchville, Maryland, your captain, number 16, Cole Turner. The Ivorian powerhouse, starting in the midfield, wearing number 19, Busu Landry. Starting in the midfield, number 14, also known as Chef West, Wesley Leggett. Leading the front line, a four-year letterman at Stanford University, number 28, Seth Ryan. And in between the sticks, a product of the USL Academy, your starting goalkeeper, number 30, Hugo Farouk. And returning for his 5th season at the helm, your head coach of Loudoun United, Ryan Martin. And now, for our ceremonial first kicks, please welcome Loudoun United season ticket members, Rob and Booker Parrott. Let's see those kicks. Very nice. Let's hear it one more time for Robin.
Welcome to Segra Field in Leesburg, Virginia, where East meets West. Loudoun United hosts Sacramento Republic, who make the 2,700-mile journey to try and keep pace with the top of the table in the West, while Loudoun, they look to continue a late-season playoff push. Jack Edwards here alongside former Manchester United goalkeeper Gary Bailey. Gary, it's going to be an interesting one between these two sides. A lot at stake for both of them, and both of them coming in on some interesting form. We can look first at the East and just see what's important coming up now for Loudoun.
Absolutely important for Loudoun. They need to win this one. They're running out of games. This is their 27th game. You can see them down in 10th spot. They're 5 points behind Tulsa. Even if they win this one, they would have played 2 more games in Tulsa and still be 2 points behind. So good to think if they lose this today, they're really going to struggle to make the playoffs.
A gauntlet up ahead for them as well. A lot of teams in the Eastern Conference playoff spots to come up. So Loudoun, they know with 7 matches after this, big 3 points for them. On the flip side, in the West for Sacramento Republic, they're in a spot where playoffs, less of an uncertainty for them, trying to get some home field advantage, get to the top of the table.
Yeah, they've been leading that Western Conference for a long, long time, and now all of a sudden San Antonio, the champions, have just gone ahead of them. So you want to be at home, obviously, in case they do meet San Antonio in the final of the West. If they get that far, they'd much rather play them on home turf.
And this is their 4th match on the road in a row for Sacramento, out now at Loudoun. We can see, though, for Loudoun, a 3-0 win last time out against Vegas, a welcome return to form, getting 3 in the back of the net.
Yeah, El Medcar there's some turnover ball on the edge of the box, and it took a bit of a wicked bounce. Wesley Leggett did really well. That's why he gets a start today. He turned the defender, found a bit of a gap, and put that ball with some power past the keeper. Then Husso Landry, he's been playing so well. He just out-muscled the defender there and stuck that one in the far corner.
His development there, his first goal for Loudoun United, a team is progressing. Khalil Medcar, we mentioned him, scoring that first one last time out, 2 goals in 2 games with 5 on the season. Going to be a very important player for them, a team that could definitely use to continue the goal-scoring form.
Yeah, as you mentioned, he scored in the previous match as well against San Diego, so you want that player in form, and they've got some good talent up front, Loudoun. It's in defense where they seem to have their problems.
On the flip side for Sacramento, a defensively incredibly sound team all across that unit. A small change at the back will get you that with the lineups, but it's going to be the team with 17 goals conceded. Only 1 time this year, Gary. They've allowed more than 1 goal in a match. Jack Gurr, a key part of that, allowing them to be a team that's trying to limit Khalil Medcar and all of Loudoun.
Jack Gurr is fantastic on the right-hand side. He bombs forward up and down from that wing-back position. 5 goals and 4 assists. Powerful player. And you've got to limit the damage that he can do if you're Loudoun United. But such a useful player to have in your side, and we will see him do some damage if he's not controlled by that Loudoun defense.
Playing that 3-4-3 formation, they've got a lot of width there. The clash of formations will be interesting for sure for these two teams. It's going to be an interesting one for both of them. 4 unbeaten for Sacramento, while we have a win last time out for Loudoun, 3-0. We've got lineups for you, a fascinating one between East and West. Loudoun United, Sacramento Republic, when we come back on ESPN+.
We understand an upside-down world, but they're writing us off before we get to the starting line. A stalled generation? Who do you think is gonna fix all this? We will, because our future is the future. So we're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day, and feed those left in the cold. We're going to do all this and more, because we have an appointment with destiny.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it
Back here at Segra Field in Loudoun County, Virginia. Loudoun United preparing to take on Sacramento Republic for the 2nd ever meeting between these two sides. A fascinating clash between East and West, a pair of teams with different objectives, but 3 points the key for both of them. We can look at the lineups entering in today. First off, for the hosts, a trio of changes in goal, an interesting one. We can isolate on that at first here. Dane Jackman out, Hugo Perot, he's into the lineup.
Yep, they seem to be changing every match at the moment, and it's a battle for that #1 position. That's one of the changes. Abdul Kawanda comes in, Jeremy Garay drops to the bench, and then Wesley Leggett gets a start out wide after the fantastic goal we saw him score against Las Vegas. He gets a nod. So 3 changes in total.
One change for Sacramento on the flip side for them, staying with the same 3-4-3 formation. Viator coming into the lineup, Donovan moving out, but a similar look that they've seen in recent weeks.
Yeah, it's a very solid 3-4-3, isn't it, Gur, as we mentioned, and Desmond getting up and down the line. But up front, Cicerone, Zico Lewis, and Keko, so dangerous. And Cicerone, of course, the heart of all that. Second top goal scorer in the USL at the moment.
13 goals, a dominant player in that aspect of things. Our keys to the game brought to you by Country Buick GMC of Leesburg. Gary, for the host, stopping crosses coming in.
Yeah, Ryan Martin saying very much, as we mentioned, Jack Gur is so dangerous getting ball in. They've got to stop that happening. And for Sac Republic, they're talking about getting behind the defense of Loudoun United, just knocking in little balls there to try and get Russell Cicerone on the end of it. And that's where you'll see Keko and Zico Lewis looking to play in Russell Cicerone.
The formation's an interesting clash, the 3-4-3, with kind of 2 men in the midfield more or less for Sacramento, and Loudoun with a stated goal having the 4-1-4-1, maybe a manage in the middle of the park, something we'll discuss and see all throughout. Between the all-black jerseys, the visitors from Sacramento, just the second ever meeting between these sides. Last season they played, it was a 4-0 win in California for the hosts, and heading from right to left. The visitors will be from Sacramento taking on Loudoun here tonight. Shane Wheat with it in defense. Put out a play, a bit errantly. Lee Desmond moving to the center of defense. Jack Edwards, former Manchester United goalkeeper. Gary Bailey with you on this one. Both teams going to begin to feel each other out. We mentioned it kind of with the lineups for Loudoun, but the goal from Ryan Martin was just the ball playing ability. We've got now for Farouk.
Yeah, he said he's a bit different to Dane Jackman. Dane Jackman perhaps the more athletic of the two. Farouk, the one who's better playing out of the back. So in the last match against Las Vegas, on a difficult, bumpy pitch, he felt that playing from the back wasn't as important, and didn't Dane Jackman make some great saves against Vegas? The match they won 3-0,
Yep.
but to be fair,
Yeah.
it could have been a lot closer than that. The keeper pulling off some brilliant saves.
He was in the team of the week for his efforts, saved a penalty at 1-0 as Villader in the box. Cicerone, it's going to break, knocked away. Early progression, affected by Sacramento on a high leap. Massive collision. Shane Wheat committing the foul. He took out Wesley Leggett into the 11. As you mentioned, Gary, after the goal last time out and taking an early bump.
It seemed a fair challenge for the ball, but big man coming in very hard. Ryan Martin looking on, and we were talking before the game. It's an incredible thing about this Loudoun side. It's a very young side, which is why it's difficult for them to do well. Their average age is 25 and younger. Sac Republic is 25 and older if you exclude the goalkeeper. So they're literally, it's a very mature side against a very young side. See, it's a fair win, I think, by Shane Wheat. He tries to go over the top, he heads the ball. It's a natural clash of players, but there's no question for me that Sac Republic are physically and mentally and psychologically much stronger than Ryan Martin's young side.
Youth definitely benefits you at times, but you mentioned it's just completely other sides of the coin for both of these teams. An incredibly experienced Sacramento team. Good to see Leggett back to his feet with that collision. I mean, you had him both with the bump leaping for it and then landing back on him. A two-pronged collision. But he's back up and moving around.
It's going to take a great performance to beat Mark Briggs' side today by Loudoun. It's a fantastic team. Mark Briggs taking them to the Cup final, the Open Cup final last season, and now this season they've been at the top, and now for the very first time just dropped below it in the West. But still, it's so strong in every department, so strong off the bench as well. Done a brilliant job has Mark Briggs.
Vitiello between the sticks, passing that one out. It's Lee Desmond.
Interesting, Lee Desmond, he was at left wing back. Yeah, he's dropped into centre back position. Dami Villader has gone to left wing back.
Switch of play, picking out what usually is his wing back partner. Keko has Gur with him. Makes a forward run. Keko into the box. A chance across goal, knocked out. It'll be our first corner of the match. Clever progressing up that right side. Keko and Gur combining to get some space.
I think we'll see quite a lot of that this match. You get the sense that Sac Republic will be on the attack, and it's going to take a lot of good defense from Loudoun. Keko, some lovely touches. Such a clever ball player, the Spaniard. Just gets his body between ball and defender, and in the end, well cut out at the near post.
Corner kick, a bit short, fully dealt with. Cicerone on hand, but won't be able to attack it too effectively. Loudoun a chance to counter. Was that a foul? It was indeed. Keko took the corner, fouling him in transition. We'll slow things up for Loudoun.
See the high pressure coming here. Russell Cicerone, one by one, the black shirts trying to close Loudoun down, and yeah, unnecessary push from Shane Wheat. But I think you're going to see a lot more of that pressure coming throughout this match. 2
fouls early for Shane Wheat, something to watch out for, and both of them, as you see Wesley Leggett feeling the effects of that one a little bit as well. This one's played into Keko, one back high up the pitch by Sacramento. Brilliant slide tackle, played forward. Nice step, but the ball was won in the middle of the pitch. Arnold Lopez. Slow things down, allow Loudoun to get back defensively. Lopez with Ryan in press next to him. Clips it for Keko. Whips it in. Cicerone's on hand, cleared away, no nonsense. Rocha wanted to have no risks, knocks it out of play.
Hugo Farrow just giving him a high five there. And the one good thing about Loudoun's 2 clean sheets in the last 3 matches. So at least there's a little bit of confidence amongst the defenders. You know, Lehman, Washington, Rocha, Jace Clark, who's a youngster just 18, that they can defend. They can get good clean sheets when they need to. And now they're going to do it against a very good side. That'll be a massive test for them today.
A left foot from Zico Lewis. It'll be an out-swinging corner. Whipped in near the box, headed away by Loudoun. Chance potentially to break, some numbers getting back. Nice bit of hold up. El Medcar, 3 black jerseys around him, he's by himself. Stays with it. And support is Ryan, the pass just underhit a little bit. And Sacramento may be able to push forward. Not quite to counter themselves, but quickly advancing numbers.
It was a good little counter-attack. And it just shows you again, El Medcar, how dangerous he is.
Yeah.
In the end, as you quite rightly said, Sacramento was just an underhit pass, and it's a pity because they might not get that much of the ball on the front foot. And when you do, you want to use it to your best advantage, which they didn't do.
Villader carrying it forward. Swarmed as he edged off of it illegally. Referee says no, it'll be a throw. Says it was well defended. Bit of heavy touch, but foul bails him out.
Shane Wheat again, that's 3 times. The referee will start warning him that it's...
Within 7 minutes too, yeah.
He's going to get a yellow card, not for any bad infringement, just for repeated infringement.
What is the number there for just small fouls like that? 4, 5?
Yeah, it's up to each referee to decide, and it depends on how bad each one is. But at some point, the referee will say enough's enough. And, you know, we talk about it every single match. Part of your game management. Oh, that's so risky from Hugo Farrow.
Nearly catastrophe. Not quite punished for that one. And it was mentioned as the goal from Ryan Martin, just playing out from the back, the risk you take. Back home, maybe a cleaner pitch to progress from. But you run the risk in moments like that.
That was extremely close to Keko getting a goal there. And you don't want to take that sort of risk. As a goalkeeper, you got to get to the point where if it starts to look like you might not get the ball to where you want, just kick it down the field. Just don't take that sort of risk that Hugo Farrow took a moment ago.
Clever pass by Rocha. Switch of play on hand is El Medcar. First touch, invited the press. One back by Sacramento. We'll see again a bit of press on the keeper. Ryan pressing Vitiello, his pass forward. One back, Landry. Turner. Tried to fire one to El Medcar, but it's repelled. Lopez. Overhit pass, knocked out of play. Bit of an open 9 minutes of this one between the two sides. Not quite seen either team really assert themselves on the match.
Not yet, but you get the sense that Sac Republic have been the stronger. They've been more dominant. They're closing down here. They're trying to get turnover ball in the Loudoun half. And if they keep that pressure up, you sense they will get some breakthrough eventually.
Lost by Leggett, playing in the channel. Russell Cicerone puts one into the box, knocked away. Leggett has Villadere pressing him, claims it touched him last. Referee disagrees. It'll be Sacramento's deep in their attacking half. Keko. Villadere. It's blocked. Awkward spin. Landry can try and control it, but loses his footing. Lopez from distance. It rises. Goes over into the home crowd. Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.us.select-sport.com for the latest select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice.
Just looking at some of the recent stats for Sac Republic as well. 3 wins and a draw in their last 4, and this is their 4th away game in a row. So they've been on the road. They've been grinding out results. In fact, they've only lost 2 out of 12 away from home this season. So all the stats and form suggest that this should, in theory, be a win for Sac Republic.
One back by Sacramento. Lost, though, by Cicerone. Underhit pass, breaking forward. Keko into the box and keep his feet. Trying to square to a teammate. It's going to bounce free. Cleared away. Faroux is feeling the effects of a challenge there. Best opportunity of the match so far. Falls the way of Sacramento and Keko. And it looked like he was trying to feed a teammate.
Yeah, I don't know why. Again, it's that pressure. We said there'd be turnover ball somewhere. Brilliant, Keko. Now shoot. When you're only 8 yards out, why are you trying to play in Jack Gurr when you can shoot and stick it in the back of the net? I mean, it's very unselfish, I'll give him that, but unnecessarily unselfish. And in the end, it's the defender who collides with Faroux and gives him a bit of a knock. And fortunately, the keeper bounces up.
It almost was a case of maybe he had more time than he thought to almost compose himself and really put one on goal, and kind of was off balance, just trying to scrape that one across.
Which is 7-8 yards out. Whether you're on balance or not, just have a whip from there, because you've got a great chance of scoring. But again, it's that high press, turnover ball just on the edge of the box. They're going to keep doing this, Sac Republic, and chances are they get more opportunities.
Villadere whips it in. Goes over Keko's head. Medcar to chase. Well saw out. Jared Timmer stepping forward. Keko. There's the edge in the back. Referee says no foul. Pass forward. Uncontested. Abdul Kawanda, we were wondering who was going to play in that 6 role. It appears that he's playing in that single pivot role.
Yeah, Cole Turner's been in that role the last couple of games and done really well, but Abdul Kawanda, just 19 years of age. And another one of those young talents that Ryan Martin brings through. He's got on the bench a 16-year-old, Kimboni. So you have to credit Loudoun for what they do in terms of bringing the youngsters through. But it still concerns me they don't have 1 or 2 older players. If everyone's 25 or under, except the goalkeeper who's 26, you know, where's the experience? Where's the players to drag you through matches? You need those older heads, and certainly Mark Briggs has used that to his advantage. As we said, not a single player under 25 in his team.
It's just 2 completely opposite ideologies with squad building. One for the future with Loudoun and maybe a sacrifice in the present, while Sacramento are right up there with the best sides in the championship. He's 27, between the sticks.
Just 2 clean sheets in his last 15 appearances, Danny. So as good as they are in defense, and they are fantastic, most goalkeepers take a lot of pride in trying to rack up as many clean sheets as possible. So he'll be eyeing today, and not expecting to keep a clean sheet, but certainly hoping to.
Lewis, pass it off to Keko. Plays it back for Lopez, pressing well by Landry, who wins it. Now they got numbers breaking forward. It's Ryan. Can he hold up the play? He's got Medcar now to his right. Streaking forward is Leggett. 3 in the box. 2 on the edge. Leggett got 2 defending him. Top of the box. Turner. Still alive. Landry trying to get his footing. Rolls it. Kawanda, it's blocked. Still trying to press. Cicerone wins it back, and numbers committed forward for Loudoun. Check it up.
A lot of chances there for someone to have a shot at some stage, Loudoun. And they're all trying to set up the perfect situation, but you've got to pull the trigger. It might not be the perfect position for you, but when you're that close to goal, have a dip. You might get a deflection. Goalkeeper might be unsighted. But they had all that possession around the edge of the goal and nothing to test Danny Vitiello.
Timmer goes back to Vitiello. You just would have imagined there, Gary, that someone would have just pulled the trigger, just try and make something happen. Against Vegas, they didn't get the ball in the box a ton. They scored 3 goals. It was quite clinical the way they attacked things as Villadair brings this one down. Goes into the box, bounces through. Jack Gurr attacking at the back post. Forces a touch by Jace Clark, and the teenager knocks it out of play.
Amazing thing about the game with Las Vegas, the expected goals, Loudoun, was just 0.28.
Yeah.
I mean, it was next to nothing. They got 3 goals from that. Mark Briggs will be hoping they don't do the same here today. And for the home side, Las Vegas, they had 2 expected goals and got 0.
Yeah.
So it's a game that could have had a very, very different result. But of course, credit Loudoun for taking the opportunities when they did come.
That one's knocked out of play, and just kind of one of those seasons for Las Vegas when you outplay your opponent on paper, but it's just when that in the 18s they were clinical. Loudoun were.
It has been a terrible season for Las Vegas, and early on they had 4 draws in their first 4 away from home.
Lewis nods it down. Bit of a scuffed clearance, not fully dealt with. Keko leapt for it, but it will break kindly for Loudoun. One back though by Villadair. Keko was to his left feet, had the quick pass, trying to shape it onto his left foot. Keko stretching play. Tries a low one, knocked away. How much stock do you put in expected goals, Gary?
It's the best measurement soccer has. It's not ideal because it doesn't take into account how good you are at finishing. All it says is on average, should you score from this position or not. So teams that score higher than expected goals are generally teams that finish better.
Yeah.
And certainly Sac Republic would be up there, especially with Cicerone.
Keko was edged off of it, one back. Fired to the feet of Ryan. Turner gets a foot to it as well, but squirms free. It has been interesting in recent years seeing a game like soccer that's so open, so fluid, trying to see stats that can break it down. Touches an opponent's box, expected goals, expected assists. Those are 2 at the same coin as in switch play. Keko is picked out well. Drives onto the right foot. Low pass in the box, dangerous. Forced a clearance away. Looked to be Bryce Washington, indeed, who knocked that one out.
A good play from Washington, just reading the danger, getting ahead of the ball in terms of beating his attacker.
Grassa tries one in, picks out Keko. Knocked out for a corner. You say Keko's name, it feels like 500,000 times in the first 17 minutes. He's been all over this one, as that one taken quickly, but I think referee was saying it wasn't quite on the circle by the corner flag. That might be the infraction that's going to cause him to take it again.
Funny thing is, we haven't mentioned Zico Lewis much.
No.
So it's been all Keko, and the other man up front who normally feeds Russell Cicerone and scores a couple himself is Zico Lewis, the man from Bermuda.
It's been quiet. Whipped into the box, headed away. Would have been classic commentator's curse if he just popped up at the goal right there. Although it would have been prophetic from you, Gary. In the corner, bit of press. Clark puts a foot through it, takes a deflection, a kind spin, falls for Ryan. Taken off of him. Gurr tries to put a foot in. One back though, Almedkar. Tackle, referee playing advantage. Khalil Almedkar onto the left foot from distance. Forces a save from Vitiello. May have been going wide. He took absolutely no risks in goal.
You could see Zach Ryan shouting and screaming at him afterwards, saying, I'd made the run, I was through, all you had to do was slip me in, and it's a very fair point. Almedkar chose to go himself, and that was a decent shot, but it lacked the power to beat Vitiello in goals. But Zach Ryan was fuming that he didn't get the ball played to him into space. He would have been through one-on-one with the keeper.
Possession swinging well in the favor of the visitors. 64% currently. Loudoun have had opportunities on the break, just quickly progressing. Something to certainly watch out for. This one switched out again. Constant threat. Keko just on the left wing. His cross is blocked. Landry got a foot in. They'll receive it again.
Something about possession. Possession in your own half doesn't really count for me.
Yeah.
So when you're given overall possession figures, I say, give me the possession figures in the opponent's half, or in particular, in the final third of the pitch. That's where the damage can get done. Because anyone can keep the ball in their own half for ages, and it looks good on the stats, but it actually is meaningless.
In the middle of the park, one back by Sacramento. Turner trying to win it. Will fall kindly. Ryan got there. Now Turner has Almedcar making a run on the left side. He won't pick him out. Try the Trivella pass, but Vitiello is wise to it. Wheat. They haven't had to do too much defending, but still intriguing. Villader, the left wing back, shifting Desmond inside. The call by Sacramento.
Yeah, players these days have to be able to play in different positions, and the more you do that, the more comfortable they get. We see Pittsburgh, who are top in the East, and Bob Lilly moves players from left to right and forward and back, and so when they're forced to make changes in a match, they're so used to doing it and fitting in with each other. It's a skill, it's a football intelligence that is important to teach players, and certainly Lee Desmond has that, the ability, the Irishman, to go from left wing back to left centre back, or even centre back in this case.
Foul committed there. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2023, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL Championship action on ESPN+, the home to the USL, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. This one's gone over the top. Offsides, though. Off his line was Faroux. And you can sign up today at plus.espn.com.
Keko again getting to dangerous positions, and Zico, Lewis, and Cicerone a lot deeper. Such a wonderful player. Spaniard, now 31 years of age. But three goals and 6 assists, Keko. So you know that he's dangerous.
Yeah.
And if you're Sac Republic, you want to try and get the ball to him, for him to set up Cicerone whenever possible.
See Mark Briggs heading up this Sacramento side. Wanted to continue the center back discussion, just center back versus a left or right center back in a back three. Obviously different positions. How differently are you tested as a defender? What do the roles look like differently when you have that center role that Desmond is currently operating in?
Just a greater awareness, because you're watching left and right. If you're left centre back, you should ideally be left-footed, and you're looking to go down the line more often than not. And likewise on the right, you're more right-footed. But the centre back probably has a lot more covering to do. He's covering both those left of him and right of him.
Differing than the 4-1-4-1, the pair of center backs marshalling things centrally. Advantage being played after the foul on LaGrassa. Shield off the challenge, but the foul will be given in the end. Referee, they might explain that it was not the foul of second attempt, but it was the advantage being played.
Good player, who's a strong player in midfield, but still a talent. Just 22 years of age, the man from Ivory Coast. Got a goal against Las Vegas in the last game, as we saw in the build-up. Also got an assist for El Medcar against San Diego.
See that possession, the top left of your screen. Gary, you're saying not always indicative, not always the perfect stat at 63%, though. Feels like it does show the domination that Sacramento has had in some good spots.
Yeah, and I think most of that has taken place in Loudoun's half, and that's what would impress me more.
They're progressing it forward here. It's Wheat, pressed by Leggett, forced inside.
Here's a stat that amazed me in the last match against Vegas. Loudoun touches in the opposition box.
Yeah.
Las Vegas 38, Loudoun just 6.
3-0 in favor of Loudoun.
And Rob Martin was saying, well, you know what, we felt we could get goals from outside the box, and they pretty much did. The first one was from outside. The other two were running from outside to just in.
Clever pass. Landry trying to get there. Got to the right foot, just over the goal. Didn't take a touch. Potentially the most dangerous opportunity for Loudoun there, just breaking forward. Again, you were just saying it, Gary. Shots from outside the box, progressing from deeper positions, not entering the area, but a clever touch and the shot.
It's a fantastic run, isn't it? A lot of power there from USL Landry. And as he did in the last match, when he actually out-muscled the centre-back, ran into the box and scored. That time, just lifts it a touch too high. And again, criticism would be hit the target. If the keeper saves it, well done, keeper. But step number one, you've got to hit the target, which he doesn't do.
Zico Lewis. I'll leave it for Gurr. Tries to fire one. Goes to Landry, gets there again. Constantly involved in things after getting his first goal for Loudoun last time out. There's Faroux. Loudoun been outpossessed much throughout this one, but they've avoided the early wave of pressure from Sacramento. Still 0-0. Flipped into the channel. Leggett chasing it down. Final intervention. Wheat under a lot of pressure. Keeps his composure. Timmer. It's Gurr. Jack Gurr driving with this one. Desmond DeWheat.
See the difference in high pressure when Sac Republic are chasing Loudoun. They're right up in their face, whereas here Loudoun are just sitting off saying, you want the ball at the back, knock it around. We're more concerned once you get into our half of the pitch, then we start trying to get closer to you.
Keko carrying it into their half of the pitch. Slide it back for Gurr. Tried one there, was blocked initially. Grassa puts a foot in. Kawanda was on hand, clears it away, but Timmer played to Lopez. Foul in the middle of the park will be called.
Oh, he's counting it up, the referee. That's exactly what you were asking. You had 1, 2, 3, no more.
Yep. So interesting to watch how that will move forward in the middle of the park. To Landry and the referee's eye. You'd imagine Shane Wheat is as well after his early barrage of fouls, but still no players in the book as of yet. Represent your favorite USL Championship team as part of the USL Esports Hub launching next week. Join a Konami eFootball tournament on Xbox, PlayStation, or mobile by scanning the QR code or by visiting rivalgames.com/play/USL to get started. Vitiello almost playing as a right-sided center back. How high up he's progressing, just playing it with his midfielder right now.
Which is great, as long as you don't miss-hit a pass, because if you do, the goal's gaping wide. You know, you're on turf here, so there's every chance you can sort of miss-kick or something. So it's a risk that is worth taking if you're very good on the ball.
Keko is the target of his pass, trying to bring that one in there. Appealing for handball, he collapses to the ground in frustration. He believed that he flicked it past his opponent, but only stopped by a hand. Referee ignoring the pleas.
Handball doesn't necessarily mean a penalty. If your hand is close to your body or tucked in, then it's not a handball. As such, not a handball for a penalty. Let's have a look and see.
Ooh.
Okay, that's a bit different. The hand was well wide of the body there.
You could just see the frustration of Keko. And it did hit pretty much straight on the hand, kind of bringing it down. He was holding him on his shoulder as he brings it down. That's an interesting one, Gary.
It is, and if there was VAR, pretty certain that's a penalty. But the referee can't be expected to see everything. We weren't even sure.
Some breaks for Keko. Kindly, Keko squares it. Cicerone was on hand, but it's cleared away vitally. There was Washington to knock it away. Opportunities beginning to mount for Sacramento. The near penalty call. That one not a shot, but definitely an opportunity.
Keko doing so well again. We talked about Cicerone getting played behind the back four. This time it was Keko. Have a look at Cicerone, who plays Keko in a reverse situation. And Bryce Washington, once again, a timely interception.
Zico Lewis is there as Keko is probably still making his argument with the handball. Trying to earn some favor. Zico Lewis, though, at the corner. In towards the back post, over everybody. Keko, over everything.
Keko in frustration at the end. You could see him arguing with the referee. Yes, it is frustrating, but you've got to get on with the game.
Yeah.
You have to respect the referee. Can't see everything, and he certainly can't give what he thinks it might be. He or she has to actually see it.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, as a player, you have a little moan, just get on with the game. You know, swings and roundabouts, it'll work for you in favor at the other end sometime. But don't let it affect your game. And it just felt like Keko there was just really so angry at the end. He just took a lash at that ball.
Took out his anger on the ball after that. What looked like it could have been a penalty, but again, just so hard to tell in real time just how that ball bounces. Didn't necessarily look unnatural, which is kind of a big indicator as a foul is committed by Loudoun. And you mentioned here, without VAR, it's really tough to expect Greg Dopka to see that in real time.
Yeah, and it's tough for the players because when they watch overseas football or MLS or NWSL where there is VAR,
Yep.
they see things and they expect to get the same call, but this is not the same. And
Yeah.
you can't treat it as the same. So I understand the players' frustration, but they need to adapt to these circumstances.
Lofted forward, headed away. Clark doesn't get a foot through it entirely. LaGrassa's there to collect. Lopez offers an option. To the feet of Villader, an option in the box. Keko a bit wide of a touch, and off his line bravely. Farouk dives to get it.
What a chance for Keko. Absolutely brilliant ball played in, and it was just half a step ahead of him, and he couldn't kill it. If he can get to it, he kills that and sticks it in the back of the net comfortably. So once again, Sac Republic so close and knocking on the door, and you can see Farouk saying move up. He's probably saying, look, if we can't play through the midfield, let's just go over the top of the midfield.
He lofts it over everybody. Leggett running onto it. Wheat edges them off of it. That's been a constant duel between those two on this near side. Allow Villader to come back to collect. It was Villader who slid in Keko. Player who raised Barcelona Youth Academy, Girona as well. He's on the ball now. Wheat to Lopez. White shirts convalesce on him.
Okay. Copy. Down to one. ND1, correct?
Keko dropping very deep. Incredibly involved in things so far.
I think he's had more passes than anybody else at Danny Vitiello at the back.
He's got to be right up there. This long switch of play. It's again Keko on hand. Brilliant touch. And just edges it off for Gurr. Drives past Clark. Gurr at the byline. Stands it up over everybody. Did it take a touch along the way? I believe it did. And both teams were a bit frustrated at first. But Villader with the ball under his arm. It's going to be a corner kick.
We haven't seen much of Jack Gurr on that right-hand side. It's one of the few occasions he's got on the ball, and he's such a powerful runner and a good crosser of the ball. But I've no doubt Mark Briggs will be saying to him at the break, you know, get down that right-hand side, cause more problems. Because when he does get forward, he takes some stopping.
Zico Lewis. Again with the opportunity on the near side. Corner kick. Whips it in. Towards goal, Cicerone, point blank range, stopped by Farouk. What a stop by him. Fell kindly for Cicerone right in front of goal.
That was so close, it was bouncing around there, and Russell Cicerone, as it drops, has a bit of a shove. There, he turns, hits it, goalkeeper gets two hands to it, and that's all he could do, Cicerone. Good save.
Keko, he'll whip this one in. The shot, it's blocked. LaGrassa gets there. Weak, half-hearted appeals. It goes out to Keko, though. Right in the corner. One-on-one with Washington. Gurr back to Keko. What an opportunity for Cicerone, Gary.
It was a fantastic opportunity. Good set pieces, corners into the box, and you do get the sense that they're slowly strangling Loudoun United, and yet there's been one or two little breakaways.
Yeah.
A very quick in transition, Loudoun, and just threatens Mark Briggs' defense, Uso Landry in particular. But he'll be happy because he knows that his team are creating a ton of chances, and eventually, whether it's a penalty or a deflection or a goal, something surely has to go on if they keep this pressure up.
Gurr dueling for it. Does win a side of throw. That was by far the best chance we've seen of the match, falling for Cicerone. You know, really tough to say that he could have done much else. He kind of just falls on him. He has to turn awkwardly and try and just put it past the keeper. And Farouk, to his credit, bravely got in the way.
Yeah, he didn't seem to get much force in it. Is there anything else to say about it? He turns and sort of hits it quickly. He didn't thump it, he didn't smash it. And I think that just allowed Farouk to get his hand on the ball.
Keko, he's got Gurr out wide. Stretching play. Jack Gurr. Left-footed, low, Cicerone's chasing it. Does it stay in play? He clips it in, the header on goal, saved. LaGrassa, again, it'll squeak into goal. Just enough by Matt LaGrassa. Chaotic, but for the visitors enough, they take the 1-0 lead.
We were just saying something has to happen, and it did. And Jack Gurr getting down that right-hand side, whips the ball in, this time with his left foot. Cicerone, so sharp, just beats the keeper to the ball and pulls it back. And eventually, of the second time of asking, LaGrassa gets it into the back. But look at Jack Gurr, decides to go the other way, puts it into the space. Cicerone reads it, beats the keeper, pulls it back. LaGrassa, the first one, keeper saves. Second one just gets over the line. And Farouk's looking at his defenders saying, well, I saved the first one, couldn't you get the second one? Goalkeeper is beaten to the ball, but well done, Cicerone. Absolutely brilliant. And just persistence pays off for Sacramento Republic.
Matt LaGrassa with his first of the year. The 30-year-old getting us going here in Loudoun. Won't win awards for how pretty it was at all, Gary, but persistence, again, it paid off. They kept at it, and that one finally ekes across the goal line. And truthfully, I mean, it did eke across. Not a thumping effort at all.
It wasn't, but we said the pressure eventually has to tell. And I think that's what you call percentage football. You get enough balls in, enough crosses, set pieces, etc. Something's going to happen.
Brilliant progression here from Loudoun. Can they respond in turn? Leggett got one-on-one on the outside, brings it back. It's Turner, tries one in the box, blocked away. Block off an opponent, allow it to get out to Leggett. Shifted back. Flipped forward. Landry holding off his opponent. Play to the feet, the referee blocks it, and he'll have to pause play and offer it back to Loudoun after providing a very good interception for Sacramento.
Important 5 minutes for Sacramento Republic. The old adage of you're at your most vulnerable when you've just scored is the case. All of a sudden, Loudoun on the front foot, throwing everything they can at Sac Republic, and a little bit of solid defending from the best defensive side in the league needed right now.
Leggett, there's a foot put in by Wheat. Last touched by him, he tosses it in, but it was not his sides to toss in. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. That one played forward, progressing well.
Tell my buddy that Sacramento 3-0.
Clifton, opportunity, Elmedkar can bring it down, one back by Danny Vitiello. Plus, on Sirius XM FC 157, you can hear live matches in the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app.
Just going back to that last chance for Elmedkar, I just wonder if he could have hit that first time, because he had two defenders on him. It's always going to be difficult to bring it down. It's a beautiful ball played in, a volley from 15 yards out, and at least he could have tested Danny Vitiello.
Lewis picks out Villader. He's one-on-one. His shot takes a deflection and well kept in to avoid the corner. He's back to his feet quickly. Ruiz, he wants to try and go things out quickly, but forced to slow it down, but now we'll go long. Wheat wins the header. Rocha. Turner, clever touch. Nice turn of pace. The pass a bit too central. Will it spin kindly? Stays with them. Landry, one-man press. Forces VTL along. Clark a heavy touch though. Allows Gurr to get it. Cicerone's the target of his pass. Rocha gets ahead to it. Match a bit open, bit chaotic last few moments.
It has been. It's a case of Loudoun throwing a few more bodies forward to try and get the goal back, and it's left them vulnerable to this high press and strength of Sacramento Republic.
Leggett, he's in acres of space on the near side. Gets his head up, across goal, squares it past everybody. Almedcar, though, on target, but saved brilliantly by VTL. Gets a hand to pound it into the ground. And with his hands above his feet, Josu Landry was appealing, why couldn't that one have been going to me? We'll see it again as Leggett had all the time in the world and all the space in the world to pick a choice.
A ton of space, just didn't quite get the right ball in at the near post for Zach Ryan. In the end, it goes far post. The angle wasn't so good for Almedcar. A little warning, Sac Republic are thrown. You were just saying it's getting a bit stretched, and Sac Republic, who are normally so good in defense, had left themselves a little bit vulnerable there. And that will give Loudoun some hope.
Landry again, a constant
be a yellow.
Advantage will be played, might be pulled back to be a yellow. Clipped across, Almedcar nods it down, trying to pick out Ryan, but it's cleared away. We'll stay in play. Gurr with a nice touchdown. Keko has it taken off of him. He's feeling the effects of that, and he's slow to get up. The referee feels it was clean, and he's back to his feet quickly, and he puts a challenge in, and he'll immediately be cautioned.
Yeah, it was a challenge out of anger. You could see him getting annoyed. He's been hacked down a few times, Keko, and he just got up. He had one thing in mind. I'm going to win that ball or take the player out. And
it was the second one.
I thought there might have been a yellow card for an early infringement. Was it Viadair, the little tug professional pullback?
Referee may have forgotten about that, considering the second challenge there, and just gives one for the sequence. So they get maybe one for the price of two. Or two for the price of one if it's yellow card challenges in that, where you see Keko go down under the challenge from Almedcar, and then he'll burst back to his feet.
Watch him here. He's just going right for the player. It's a dangerous challenge a little bit. Could have been a bit risky, but it's premeditated. And I think referees don't like it when they see that you're gunning for somebody, or because that's a dangerous one if it's premeditated. So, but I understand Keko. He's been on the ground a few times, and he's had a few moans with the referee or arguments with the referee. So he was feeling a little bit annoyed.
Well, it leads to a free kick nonetheless. Aiden Rocha standing over it. Behind him is Almedcar. He may make a run along this left wing. Rocha whips it in. VTL calmly collects it in his chest. He'll take a beat, allow his team to get back in formation up the field.
Yeah, exactly right. There are a lot of bodies back and getting close to half-time, so I think all they want to do now is Sac Republic is just keep control of the ball, get into the locker room 1-0 up, and rethink. Because Loudoun, to be fair, have thrown a few things at them the last sort of 5 to 10 minutes since they conceded. They made it difficult for Sac Republic.
Launched forward. Keko was there. Be in the press from behind. Low pass. Picks out Almedcar. Ooh, a clever touch. Nutmegs his opponent. It's a foot race. He'll lose out. Played back. Lee Desmond had to quickly get to that after a nice, clever touch from Khalil Almedcar. Timmer drives with it. Pass forward. Intercepted. Clark's pass taken away by Viadair. They're a bit stretched right now. Vital tackle, though. Kept in play. Very well done by Abdul Kawanda. Still alive here, but it's going to break for Sacramento. Players all over the place right now. Keko, it falls to him. Goes down in the box. Stays persistent with it. Mazy run. Picks out Viadair. Steps past one, clips it to the back post, chested down by Cicerone, but he can't get the shot off. Tried to chest it to control it to himself, but caught by Faroux.
Good brave goalkeeping by Farouk. So quickly off his line. Cicerone chests it, but doesn't sort of control the chest. Allows it to sort of bounce off his body by a yard or so, and Farouk so quick to respond to that. Good save, but again, Cicerone with another little half chance, and you expect him to control that chest a little bit better.
Here's Leggett, low shot left-footed. It's yellow, gets a hand to it, stops it. He's been an interesting option. Wesley Leggett on the right side, just constantly stretching play, getting out wide to the right-hand side. Brought that one infield, and shot was saved.
He's done well, Wesley Leggett, but again, not really testing Danny Vitiello there. Vitiello was just deciding whether to leave it, and in the end, sort of half fell on it. But what they have done is they've been a lot more offensive-minded, Loudoun. And that's much better. They make a much better game, of course, for Sac Republic. It gives them more space to play into when they get into Loudoun's half. So there's a risk-reward factor coming into play here for Ryan Martin's side.
Gurr plays it to Keko, goes down, advantage being played. Jack Gurr driving forward, option to the right and centrally. It's Lewis through the middle, Cicerone to the left, finds number 11. Russell Cicerone falls on it in the box, in absolute chaos. It's good enough in the end. Switching sides, looks like it's Jace Clark is playing as the right back now, and the referee is going to call this one back for a yellow card on the challenge on Keko. You can see Bryce Washington cautioned, enters the referee's book.
I think right decision. This is a little moment then. Look at that run that's been made by Viader, and Russell Cicerone didn't play it, and afterwards Viader stood there saying, really?
Yeah.
I've run all this way, I was free, and you didn't play me in?
Jace Clark, interestingly, appears to have moved from left to right, playing on the right-hand side of the defense for Loudoun now, as you see 2 minutes of added time. Keko receives it, forced back. Can Sacramento double it? Can Loudoun equalize? Or we head into the break as things stand 1-0. Viader. It's pressed by Leggett, whips it in, headed away. They'll concede a corner kick. Washington climbing highest to knock it away.
Ryan Martin a bit frustrated there, and you can see why. His team 1-0 down at home in a match that, to be honest, they have to win. They've got some tough games coming up against the other top sides in the East. Charleston Battery, Tampa Bay Rowdies, Pittsburgh. And if they don't win this one, then they really are going to struggle to come anywhere close to making the playoffs.
Zico Lewis puts one in. One back, though. Initially found a white jersey. Kawanda trying to keep it in play. Had a tough task of it. One of the two added on has been played. Gary, your first half thoughts. I'm interested how you switched of play. Keko as well as Zico Lewis both on hand. Played in field. Keko into the box, driving forward, still with it. A foot put in vitally, clipped away by Loudoun. Again, a tall header, one again. Dennis Learman doing just enough. Was it a foul there? Referee says no. Gary, nearing the end of this first 45, your kind of initial takeaways that you've seen so far.
It's been a very powerful performance by Sac Republic physically, and you can see how the Loudoun players have taken the knocks, and you know, it's not, you haven't seen many knocks given back, so it's one-way traffic. It's been Sac Republic dominating possession, creating a ton of chances. And there's been a few moments, the last 10 minutes or a few minutes ago, that 10 minutes was a good spell for Loudoun going forward, especially Leggett on the right-hand side. But overall, it's just been Sacramento Republic outpowering Loudoun, and probably more of that to come in the second half, you would think.
We're past the minimum of 2. We'll have one last opportunity here for Sacramento. 2 minutes added on. Here's Lewis. Whips it in near post. Farouk did just enough to knock it away. Cleared out. The immediate danger dealt with. All eyes on the referee, and that will be our first 45 minutes. Chaotic, intriguing. Loudoun down 1-0 to Sacramento from an interesting goal from Matt LaGrassa, which just got across the goal line just enough. Any changes you foresee for either team, tactically or individually?
Well, there'll certainly be changes in the second half for both sides as they try and get on fresh legs. For Ryan Martin, it's getting more bodies forward without being too weak in defense, and it's a very, very difficult challenge for him. But for Sac Republic, all looking good for Mark Briggs so far.
All looking good. Currently a 1-0 lead, trying to make it 5 unbeaten as they hit the road for a 4th straight match. We had some good opportunities. We had an awkward goal, some brilliant keeping, some brilliant saves. Sacramento currently holding the lead, 1-0. Some more halftime content to come in a moment after this break on ESPN+.
Business today is fast, unpredictable, always changing. Shifting trends and technologies are pushing aside old rules. The unexpected is the new normal. Segra is here to help you get what's next with our best-in-class connectivity, cybersecurity, cloud, and collaboration solutions. Whatever your business dreams, we have the network and services to get you there. Segra, giving your business the freedom to grow today. Segra is a proud sponsor of the Loudoun United Football Club.
You need on-the-go convenience. Novex Smart Hub delivers. Pay your electric bills, view your energy use, report an outage, and receive alerts regarding your account. With Smart Hub, use your credit card with no processing fees. Level out your monthly electric bills by enrolling in budget billing through Smart Hub. Easily access it through Novex mobile app or at novec.com. You're on the go. Novex Smart Hub goes with you.
Welcome back to Segra Field in Loudoun County, Virginia. Currently 1-0, Sacramento edging things in what has been a thoroughly enthralling first 45 minutes. We can look ahead for these teams getting into that time of the season, Gary, where the match is beginning to ramp up in importance. Big 3 points available today and a tough next 5 for Loudoun United.
Look at that, India battling for a place in the playoffs, but then Pittsburgh at top, Charleston with a 2nd or 3rd, Tampa Bay's. In fact, it's a top 4, isn't it, in the East that they play back-to-back, and an Indy side who's desperate to get up there. So that's why I say if they don't get full 3 points tonight, then you start to think it's not going to be possible to make those playoffs.
Saturday, September 16th is Salute to Service Night at Segra Field. Cheer on your red and white as they take on Charleston Battery starting at 6:45 p.m. The first 500 fans through the gates will receive a limited edition LUFC camo hat. Tickets are available now at LoudounUnitedFC.com. But obviously some big matches down the road with some top sides in the East. On the flip side for Sacramento, an interesting next 5 for them as they continue their push at the top of the table.
Yeah, Orange County be a tough one. They are the informed side at the moment. Phoenix Rising have got better. Oakland Roots are sitting in 3rd or 4th. El Paso have dropped like a stone, so that might be either an easy match or a match against a team who are desperate for a result in New Mexico, also just outside the players. But I don't think any match, the USL is more competitive now than it's ever been. It's a fantastic league. None of those matches are going to be easy for Sac Republic.
Anybody can beat anybody, and that is the case for today's match as well. Currently 1-0 Sacramento leading things after a Matt LaGrassa goal. More halftime content to come on the other side of this break.
We understand an upside-down world, but they're writing us off before we get to the starting line. A stalled generation? Who do you think is gonna fix all this? We will, because our future is the future. So we're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day, and feed those left in the cold. We're going to do all this and more, because we have an appointment with destiny.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
More halftime content as Loudoun United takes on Sacramento Republic live from Segra Field in Loudoun County, Virginia. Currently 1-0, the visitors from California edging things as things stand. We're getting into the late end of August, getting closer to playoff time. Some news and notes as we get you more info from around the USL Championship. A match day set. There's going to be a match between San Antonio and a Duelo de Campeones on September 12th against the Liga MX East champions, CD Tapitio. And the final stretch today, 56 days left, Gary. It's flown by this season, almost done here and staying hot. Orange County, 1 month unbeaten for them. They're top of the power rankings. Is that the right spot for you, for Orange County for right now?
In the power rankings, yes. In terms of the league, I think they're sort of fourth or thereabouts, but they were 11th at one stage when the new coach took over, Morten Carlson. So absolutely brilliant run by them. And we saw this 2 years ago, and they went on to win the entire league championship. So I'm not saying they'll do it again, but they're certainly looking like they've got a good chance.
They've got history as a precedent for them to follow, and they have gotten themselves into some absolutely fantastic form. Now we can also look back at the Week 23 Team of the Week. Some of the players that stood out last time out, headlining things, Danny Trejo for Phoenix Rising. In goal, not starting today for Loudoun, but Dane Jackaman had a great performance, saved a penalty, moved out tactically, but had a great option for them in between the sticks.
Brilliant against Las Vegas, and one of the reasons why they managed to come home with the 3 points. Up front, Tampa Bay's LaCava and the former Tampa man, Gwenzardi, now playing for Indy. Of course, Solo Asante, former Phoenix man, also at Indy. So some great players. Zoo here, by the way, for San Antonio. and Garcia absolutely fantastic. And Daniel Rivera playing in a left wing-back position and then switching to right wing-back was very effective for Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
That was your Week 23 Team of the Week. Will Matt LaGrassa make it for his first half goal? We will see. 45 minutes to come in a moment. One last break till we show it to you between Loudoun and Sacramento.
Business today is fast, unpredictable, always changing. Shifting trends and technologies are pushing aside old rules. The unexpected is the new normal. Segra is here to help you get what's next with our best-in-class connectivity, cybersecurity, cloud, and collaboration solutions. Whatever your business dreams, we have the network and services to get you there. Segra, giving your business the freedom to grow today. Segra is a proud sponsor of the Loudoun United Football Club.
Welcome back to Segra Field. Live shots of this one. 45 minutes left to figure out who will take the 3 points between Loudoun United and Sacramento Republic. A fascinating first 45 minutes in this one between the two teams. Two teams that haven't played very often, just the second ever meeting between the sides. We can dig into the highlights now. Jack Edwards, Gary Bailey here with you. 24th minute, it's going to be a Loudoun opportunity, just a quick progression forward. They do a good job. Husu Landry holds off an opponent, couldn't put it on frame, but a decent opportunity.
It was a very good opportunity, and he's got a hit target from there. They've been under the cosh for a while. They've been defending non-stop, and they got this one breakaway chance and doesn't hit target. And Vitiello comfortably sees that one over the crossbar. But this was what it was more about. Sac Republic putting balls in. Cicerone turns and has a shot, and Hugo Farreau so quick to make that save. That was one of many little half chances that Sac Republic produced in that first half, and score could have been a lot more different than 2-0. Here's some more of this. But in fact, this is the goal put in by Jacko. Cicerone does well, but look how he pulls it back. He knew LaGrassa was there somewhere. The first header saved by Farreau. The second one sort of crawls its way over the line, much to the frustration of the goalkeeper.
And I think I'm fully processing. This hits his knee. That's what he scores with right now. It's not, your typical strike. The header obviously is well saved, but he just gets a knee to it, just gets any body part to it, and Matt LaGrassa knocks it home for the first.
Yeah, it was a good use of the knee under those circumstances. And then there was a little sort of spell here. Leggett with so much space on the right-hand side, misses Zach Ryan at the near post. El Medcar gets it, and then a decent save from Danny Vitiello. One of the few times the Sac Republic defense was caught out, and it was a little half chance for Loudoun. But it's been mostly Sac Republic in the first half, and maybe the stats don't really. 3 shots on target to 4 doesn't really show you the dominance of the visitors.
These halftime stats are presented by Betfred, and possession heavily swinging in favor of the hosts, 66-34, and that has led to a lot of counterattacks and just moments in transition for Loudoun. So they've created some solid looks, but they won't be discouraged heading into the second 45 minutes. But overall, Gary, I have to imagine the happier of the two sides has to be Sacramento after that first 45.
Yeah, absolutely. They've done everything right. They've looked solid. It could be a lot more different. It could be, in my honest opinion, 3 or 4-0. But all the time, Loudoun only 1 goal off. They're a danger. El Medcar is always a threat. Zach Ryan, Yeah, I think he's only scored 1 in the last 10. Really haven't seen the best of him, but he can always finish them off when he gets a bit of chance. And Husso Landry, excellent from midfield. So the change I see Garay is on, so they made one change at least. So maybe it's going to be a better second half for Loudoun United.
Jeremy Garay is entering into this, and we'll get you the full layout of the swaps made by either team. And Loudoun talking to Ryan Martin and just the role that Zach Ryan's playing. His press helped score the first one for El Medcar after they won that one back. Wasn't credited with an assist or anything, but they believe that his off-ball work as he collects the ball at the center circle, quite enough to keep them going strong. But they're in the whites with the stripes across the chest. Are the hosts. They'll be heading from right to left across your screen. From left to right in the black will be the visitors from Sacramento. You also see Tommy Williamson on as well. Made his first touch, passing that one out early on here. Wesley Leggett and Jace Clark, the players, removed here. You can see confirmation, top left of your screen. And substitution presented by Segra. Jeremy Garay on for the young Jace Clark. As VTLO eyes a switch of play. Cicerone was trying to flick on. Tommy Williamson also on for Wesley Leggett. Weed takes off his opponent's foot. Now with Timmer. Gurr probing one for Lewis. He'll get the loose one. Jack Gurr. Zico Lewis whips it in, headed towards goal by Cicerone. Easy for Faru to collect. He had a tough first 45, Hugo Faru. Plan from Ryan Martin was to bring him back in, get his ball playing ability in goal in lieu of what could be argued as a stronger shot stopper as Tommy Williamson brings down that long one from Faru.
I think it's a brave move by Ryan Martin. 2 subs at halftime.
Yeah.
Just shows the intention to take the match to the Sac Republic. Just waiting to see how they're sort of lining up at the back. I'm assuming they're going to go to 3 at the back, unless Abdul Kawanda drops into a left back role. So we'll see as it pans out. But it's positive, especially with Tommy Williamson. Good finisher, 4 goals and 2 assists this season. So you got him, and he plays so well with Zach Ryan.
You can indeed see Abdul Kawanda operating in basically a left back position. He'll be filling in there, bringing off Jace Clark for Garay. You can see him more or less the center of your TV screen, number 11. This one's clipped, headed away on the first attempted pass. Ball bounces kindly. Calling for it was Williamson.
Needless to say, Garay at 20 and Tommy Williamson at 24. Maintain the fact that everybody in the Loudoun side is 25 or younger.
Yep.
In fact, only one person at 25 in the outfield is Giannis Lehman, everybody else younger than that. So they certainly are a club that are looking to bring young players through the system.
Waiting to toss this one back in. Turned by Ryan. Want to go further on that, the youth angle for Loudoun, Gary. Just kind of, when you've got a group this young, you know, you want to bring, you'd say the focus is developing youth players. This one's clipped in, a dangerous pass. Cut across, Williamson, an early opportunity off the bench, frustrated with himself, couldn't get quite the proper purchase on it. Zico Lewis has it.
That was a really good little half chance there for Loudoun United. And it fell to the right person as well, Tommy Williamson. Unfortunately, the shot blocked. But if they can produce more of those, then this could still be a chance for them to take all 3 points. Of course, got to be careful of the counter-attacks from Sac Republic.
Yeah, Gurr trying to header into Keko, forces Kawanda to work that one on the ground. Brilliant turn and control on the ground to evade that, and offers an option and support. Can just slide it forward to Osu Landry. His touch a bit heavy, wins aside a throw though. want to just ask about the youth angle, and they may go for a counterattack again to stop us talking about it, but when you've got a group this young, can it limit the development when you don't have that senior leadership? What role does that play in developing the younger players?
For me, it plays a very, very important role as that ball goes straight through, because it makes it more difficult to win games. It's only my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I'm sure Ryan Martin could probably outcoach me any day of the week and tell me I'm wrong. But you want to win games, and when you have a very young squad, you tend not to. And we've seen that with all the two sides in the past. This is not a two-side anymore, but they do sort of tend to feed towards DC United. And if you want to win games, you need the 30-year-olds, the ones that have been there and done it, the ones that are grumpy in the locker room and pointing fingers, because that's all part of the game. And with Sac Republic, you have that. You have a team that is going to win a hell of a lot more than they lose, because they're used to it and they're senior players. None of that exists on the Loudoun side, being 25 and younger. And I think that makes it extremely difficult for them to make the playoffs. Having said that, the upside is they're a fantastic side for bringing through young players. So congratulations to Loudoun for that.
Driving forward, one of those young players trying to pass Landry, was blocked away. You hope that while you go through this process, some gems break out and work well through a bit of chaos. This one bounces, could be kindly for Zico Lewis. Cicerone streaming forward. Lewis rolls into the pass of Lopez, trying to go back to him. Will it bounce for Cicerone? He'll fight for it. Well tackled, and Turner comes away with it.
Cicerone just throwing his arms up and saying, guys, play me in behind the back four, which is what we talked about as one of the keys. Just simple balls behind the back four for Cicerone to run onto, or Keko to run onto. These are the players that can do the damage, and that's the ball that they want from the players around them.
When you think about what the goal came from, it was a Jack Gurr cross. Cicerone going in behind. He gets away from the keeper, keeps it alive, keeps it in play. But you get Cicerone in a spot to cause some damage as he's fouled. Lopez was hoping for the referee's whistle, and he got it. But he's put him in a dangerous spot to make something happen. Gets past the keeper, just keeps it alive in play, and Matt LaGrassa finishes it off.
And that's where Cicerone and Keko are so good in those tight spaces in the box, near goal. Both super talented players, and he's the guy who can make it possible. Jack Gurr getting down that right-hand side.
They're clearly listening to us, trying to play him over the top now, immediately. Here's Jack Gurr again. Goes, picks out Keko. Both teams appealing for it. Wait for it. It'll be ruled as a corner kick. Much to the dismay of Abdul Kawanda, 19-year-old, shifting from defensive midfield role, now playing as the left back, being moved around a little bit by Ryan Martin. Keko is on hand. Short. Picked out. To be Cicerone, whipped in by Gurr towards the back post. And Farouk climbs highest. And the area was Desmond. But the goalkeeper for Loudoun brings it in.
Good goalkeeping, good hands. As you say, Lee Desmond was ready to head that into the net if he didn't gather at the goalkeeper. He's had a really good game, as he did in the last match he played.
Ryan just a push in the back. About as obvious as they come, as he lost that one with the first touch.
Just saying, Ferro against San Diego, even though they lost 2-1, I thought he was superb. In fact, both goalkeepers have been playing excellently well for Loudoun. Yeah, nothing too subtle about that push.
Sold it a little bit. The back did Jared Timmer, but Zach Ryan wanted to try and win that back, trying to put off his opponent. Knocked him down illegally, according to our head referee, Greg Dobka.
For Zach Ryan, we mentioned one goal in the last 10. He needs to do more than that. He's a natural goal scorer. Yeah. Early on in the season, he's got 9 goals.
He was
already.
burying them earlier in the year.
Absolutely fantastic, but just gone off the ball a little bit.
Lofted over the top. Zico Lewis running on to it. Flag stays down. His pass takes a deflection. Running across goal to intervene was Rocha. Kawadu picks out El Medkar. Poor first touch, but it bounces kindly from on the second one. Just a ton of jersey. He'll switch play, though. Keep persisting with it. Williamson. Landry calling for it in the center. He'll clip it for him. Can he bring it down? It's just a bit ahead of him. Gurr. Referee says no.
I don't think it was a penalty. It was certainly worth the call, though. But Husso Landry, just when the ball comes to him, could he have taken the ball forward towards goal? Because his first touch takes him a little bit away, plays the ball.
It's tough.
It's tough, but I just don't see it.
It's a coming together in the box.
Think, yeah, exactly. And I think the ball was going to Danny Vitiello as well. But he was waiting for it. And once again, there are moments when they attack Loudoun when you think, wow, they can be really good in, on the attack, on offense. But they're just going to be sharper around the goal, stick more in the back of the net.
Vitiello goes long, and it goes all the way to his opposing keeper. Landry's been a very interesting option. Kind of moves as a box-to-box midfielder involved in both ends of the pitch. Been a constant threat since he's nodded away. He'll be the one to run onto it. Brilliant pass over the top. Flag stays down. Khalil Al-Medkar, one-on-one. Going around the keeper. His shot stopped in the first time, but the second chance is good. Persistent from Khalil Al-Medkar, and he puts it home to equalize for the hosts.
Fantastic finish from Al-Medkar, his third in 3 back-to-back games. Beautiful ball played through for him. And we were just talking about how sharp they've looked on the attack in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Look at this ball coming here. Fantastic ball from Husso Landry. It catches Jared Timmer in the wrong position, but he does so well, Al-Medkar. Vitiello saving the first attempt, and it still falls nicely for Al-Medkar. Back of the net. 3 goals in 3 matches. This man's on fire.
On fire indeed. First one blocked, second one lucky. Both teams now attacking this goal. First one saved by the keeper, second one unable to be kept out. A huge goal in the landscape of the season for Loudoun. After this, just 7 matches left. They know that every point they can get is crucial. They've got 1 right now as things stand, but they're on the precipice. Back where we started, all level.
I think credit Ryan Martin for the changes at half-time. There's no question that Tommy Williamson has brought a sharpness up front. Jeremy Garai's touches in midfield have been really good, and they've got themselves into this match, controlled a bit more.
Played in behind. Can they quickly spoil the fun? Dragged across. Cicerone goes down. Shot. Brilliant save. Zico Lewis had the goal at his mercy, but getting down low quickly, Hugo Farou.
There was a call for a penalty there. It looked like Cicerone's shirt got a tug. As this ball comes in, it's an effort of a shot. Lagrasso, now watch there, Cicerone falls. Didn't see enough, to be honest, from Rocha, who might feel a little bit relieved that nothing was blown. But I didn't see the tug, so it can't be given. In the end, another good save from Hugo Farou, having a fantastic match in goals for Loudoun United.
Kawanda. Bit of a heavy touch though. Keko has it. Had an opportunity over the top, but he'll bring it in field. Viadair. Into the feet of Keko, making the run. Cicerone in the box, drags it back. Lewis will get to it, the low shot blocked. Farou again standing tall, slide tackle. Lagrassa, he's the goal scorer, picks out Keko in the box. He goes down to ground, appeals for a penalty again, waved off again. Now over the top. Williamson going on to it. Will he keep it in play? He does. Faces up his defender one-on-one, brings it in field, picks out Husso Landry. It's blocked, slide tackle by Lopez, steps past him. Garay. Ryan from distance, just off target. It's a goal kick.
It's amazing. Different second half, isn't it, since Ryan Martin made those changes. Garay's been able to get them on the front foot. Lovely hold-up play from Tommy Williamson down the left there as well. It really is a very different side, because the expected goals in the first half was just 0.3 for Loudoun, 1.18 for Sac Republic. So there was no question that Sac Republic created most of the chances. But the second half, it's been a slightly different story. The home side really going for Vitiello and company. But to be fair, though, Hugo Farou has made 3 or 4 saves. The score could be very, very different, but for the Loudoun keeper.
As Gurr whips that forward, Washington's on hand just to back that point up. Updated expected goals marks for you. Again, not entirely official, but 1.18 for Loudoun. So obviously a huge opportunity with not the tap in for Ahmedkar, but no keeper to account for. 2.11 for Sacramento. They've had some good opportunities in the second half.
You just wonder when Sac Republic might decide to make their changes, and we have an exciting player on the bench. Their new signing, Christian Perano, came in from San Antonio.
That'd be a way to endear yourself to the fans. Come off the bench.
Yeah, and Luis Felipe, of course, one of the top players, 5 goals already this season. He's back after a spell out, and Luther Archimed. So there's some real power they've got on that bench, Sac Republic.
Offside called here. And a pair of subs for Sacramento, and funnily enough, Gary, they're neither one of the players that you mentioned that have the power from the bench for Sacramento. We've got Connor Donovan and Alder Sanchez coming on to the pitch here. So more changes kind of almost in the middle of the park as you see Wheat coming off, as well as Villader. So choosing to keep with those first 2 subs from Mark Briggs, keep those major weapons, attacking weapons, I should say, still in their back pocket. But now both teams made 2 subs within the first 15 minutes of the second half. Those changes brought to you by Segra.
As you say, I'm sure we'll see the other subs later on in the game, but interesting that he's replaced like with like.
Sprayed forward, Williamson, brilliant touch. Here's Landry, Ryan with him, just past him. Gur's touch invites a bit of pressure, and he hooks it away. Garai's header gets it to Ahmedkar, but a nice touchdown and press by LaGrassa. They win it back. Garay to Landry, Turner, back to him. Tries to slide it to Ahmedkar, but his touch let him down a bit. LaGrassa, kicked out. Zico Lewis. He's trying to find a way to a teammate. It's pass intended for Keko, just off. Loudoun really growing into this match, Gary.
Yeah, they've had a fantastic second half so far. And if they are going to make a tilt at a playoff spot, now would be a great time to pick up 3 points. It'd be a confidence booster, second to none. They've won 1 of their last 7, Loudoun, so your head starts to drop. You start to doubt whether you're really going to be good enough to make it, but a win against a team as good as Sacramento Republic, that will do this Loudoun side's confidence a world of good.
Ahmedkar. See the shots in the top left of your screen. 9 total, 5 on target for Loudoun. Sac Republic 11-6. This one's played out wide. Ryan has to put his head down to get to it, but he was offsides. Wipe that one off, that opportunity away.
It's a pretty lovely touch from Ahmedkar once again, and they do have some great skills this Loudoun side. Sometimes wonder why they're sitting 10th in the table. And that's their defensive issues have been their big challenge this year. But going forward, they've got some wonderful players.
Just in the last 3 games, the recent form for Loudoun, it was a 0-0 draw in the last time they played here at Segra Fields. This one's lofted forward. Keko pressing, forces that one out of play. Might try and take it quick, but waiting for options around him. Ryan Martin barking out instructions. 0-0 draw last time they were here.
Yeah.
Just got you off, Gary, and then a 2-1 defeat at San Diego. They felt like they actually performed better in that match than they did in the 3-0 win over Las Vegas. As Lewis overhits that one, out for a goal kick. Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Flipped forward, but just kind of on that point that this foul was committed in the middle of the pitch. Ryan Martin conceded that they felt like they played better against San Diego for 85 minutes, and then 2 goals conceded late meant the result didn't go their way at San Diego. Conversely, just clinical against Vegas, even with a poorer performance. The points went their way in that one.
Yep, they've conceded 44 goals, Loudoun. That's the 2nd highest in the entire East. It's a lot of goals to concede.
You see Luis Felipe coming on for the goal scorer, Matt LaGrassa. It's his first appearance since June 24th, their win against San Antonio. He scored in that match. He's been out of commission for nearly 2 months. A very welcome return to get the 27-year-old back into the mix. You can see him in the center of the pitch, number 96. Keko gets a foot in, fires it. Felipe's first touch since coming back on. Picked out Lewis. His pass a little under hit. Gurr can't get there. Turner won it back. Elmedkar, his pass was blocked. Will be a throw for his side. Taken quickly. Lofted in behind, headed away. Elmedkar trying to track that one down. A tackle put in. Here's Keko.
That's perfectly set up, isn't it, for a fantastic finish?
Yeah.
Because Sac Republic, if they're going to overtake San Antonio, kicking for 3.
Can he get it to Landry? He can. Cuts it back. Squares it across. Ryan. Shot across goal. Saved. Not fully dealt with. Landry turns. His shot is blocked. Still alive, but finally scraped away. They're appealing for a foul from distance over everything, and the chance fully goes. Aiden Rocha trying to go after that one. You see Ryan, his first shot saved well by Vitiello, but the chance didn't fully go.
He came to Elmedkar and he sort of controlled it and then tried to pass it to Huso Landry. I was wondering if he was going to take a shot, but they're giving the Sac Republic the treatment that they received in the first half. They're in the goal, putting pressure on. It's been a fabulous attacking performance by the home side in the second half. But again, you've got to do it, and you've got to get the goals to beat Sac Republic. And all the time, there's the danger that they catch you on the break.
Awkward. Keko was on hand. It's headed away. Washington puts a foot through it. Nervy. You bent and you didn't break. Farrow. And pressed by Keko. Nearly led to a goal in the first half when he pressed and got a foot to it. Lewis. Pokes it past one. The tackle. Kawanda takes it away from him.
He's done well at left back, hasn't he? Abdul Kawanda, 19-year-old, been very tough and strong.
Referee played advantage at first. He's going to call it back. Free kick in a dangerous spot. They'll take it quick. He has adapted quite well, playing both as the lone pivot. He's strong in that first 45, and has done exceptionally well since moving to left back. The shifts from Ryan Martin have panned out so far. 3 subs in the second half from Mark Briggs and Sac Republic. Loft over the top. Keko in a foot race with Kawanda. He'll get there first. And invite Farrow to launch it forward. Luis Felipe gets a foot in there. Keko, did he come from an offside position? Did not. Clever touch, picks out Lewis. He picks out Gurr. Can he pick out Cicerone? Cuts it back, goes down to the box, there's appeals. Again, the referee. We've had a lot of appeals today, nothing given.
That was not a penalty. I think he was already going down, but he had to finish the appeal.
Brilliant pass. Here's Ryan. End-to-end stuff, clipped to the back post. First time scuffed, sits up. Now Elmedkar, first shot blocked, and he'll commit the foul and end the opportunity.
Once again, Loudoun on the counter-attack, so quick, so strong, creating opportunities in the box, and they really do have Sac Republic under all sorts of pressure there. You can see Vitiello looking around, a little bit bemused by it all. It's the quality of the ball, such as that one there from Elmedkar. Just held up. There's Zach Ryan as an option. Puts the ball back in. There was a little half chance there for Tommy Williamson, but they're so clever the way that was fed back to the edge of the box to give Elmedkar another opportunity.
Here's Jack Gurr. His pass just off. Cleared away. Mark Briggs will catch it. Keko fires it. Brilliant touch by Lewis to bring it under a spell. Clipped into the box. Keko has it at the byline to the back post. Sits up, left-footed shot, slow, just agonizingly wide of target. Out there, Sanchez, not sure he said his name since he came onto the pitch. It took a touch, it's going to be a corner.
That was close. What a lovely ball from Keko to the far post, but Sanchez, you thought it was going to sneak in at the far post. He controls it, hits it, and it just goes wide. Rice Washington watching that, nothing he could do except hope.
Corner into the box. There's the back post, headed down. Medkar moving a little slow after putting a foot into that one. It's a corner now on the flip side. We'll do it again the other way. The 21-year-old from Vancouver had a good opportunity to bring it down onto his left foot. Just couldn't quite put it on frame. It's been a story of the almosts so far today. Corner into the box, near post, flicked on, sits up. What a save, didn't know much about it, point blank. Farreau rejects it.
Wow, how many saves has he made now, Hugo Farreau? If you count in the first half and the second, it's about 5 or 6 crucial saves. Saves that, if he doesn't make them, obviously hit the back of the net, and he's made one after the other. Point blank saves, one from Cicerone in the first half from 4 yards. Been a brilliant goalkeeping performance so far.
They may have to do some more here. Keko. Luis Felipe. Now back. Zimmer. It's Lopez. Fires low one. Finds Lewis. Looks at goal. Fires and puts it in. What a finish. Zico Lewis. How about that? Given some space on the edge of the 18, and he makes no mistake, and they take the lead again on the road, 2-1.
I'm not surprised it's happened. They've been getting a lot of chances around that box again. Sacramento, yeah, Zico Lewis punches the air. What a good strike it was, but he had a little bit of time on the edge of the box. Timmer just moving it around. They were looking for opportunities. Ball comes in. He turns, no one on him, so he has a chance to hit it with his left foot. It bends away from the goalkeeper, Hugo Farreau. But when you're given that sort of space to a player as good as Zico Lewis on the edge of the box, that he can turn, line it up, and you can see the bend from behind as it bends away from Hugo Farreau. Well deserved for Sac Republic, but a tough run for Loudoun, who've played so well in the second half.
They've got to do it all over again. Their changes at halftime spurred some opportunities. Khalil El-Medkar had the equalizer. He canceled out the Matt LaGrassa goal. But Zico Lewis, he's grown into the match in importance. Was not massive in the first 20-30 minutes in this one, but he's continued to pop up, and as things stand, has the winner. Farreau goes long to chases Ryan. Gets yellow off his line, doesn't get a great amount of purchase on that. And the header is poor. Williamson driving into the box, options with him, picks out Ryan. His shot just wide of goal. Has his head in his hands. Zach Ryan knows that was a gilt-edged chance to try and equalize.
Yeah, it's some poor play, first from Vitiello and then from Lee Desmond trying to hit the ball back into play when all you do is stick it out of play. They nearly got punished for that, Sac Republic, and Danny Vitiello there, his clearance just went straight up in the air and put Lee Desmond under pressure, and he didn't clear it. So again, a warning for Sac Republic not to treat this Loudoun attack too lightly, because they are so sharp up front.
Sharp indeed. Williamson cuts onto the left. His shot, it's blocked. Vitiello was ready to sprint for that one, but Desmond will have to put a foot through it. Pressure again ramping up. We saw it after the goal in the first half. There was kind of a period of pressure when you're most vulnerable after you score. They've got just over 15 minutes plus stoppage time. Try and find another response.
And all the time you've got the likes of Zico Lewis and Cicerone and the fresh legs of Luis Felipe looking to counter whenever they can and finish this game off.
Bit of an awkward header from Jack Gurr, but he does pick out Vitiello, maybe not his intended target, but enough in the end. And if you're Sacramento at this point on the road trying to see this one out, when do you, not fully abandon just building up from the back or slow progression, but when do you begin to kind of really dig in terms of minutes left in the match?
I wouldn't think they need to now. I think they still got to get on the front foot and try and score a winner, and they've got the players who can do that. But certainly when it gets to the 80th minute onwards, teams generally start to work the clock down. But I think Sac Republic are good enough to know that they need to keep the pressure on Loudoun, because Loudoun's strength is in attack. So if you have them on the defense the whole time, then you stop them from attacking you. If you sit back and let this team come at you with what they have up front, and Tommy Williamson and Zach Ryan and Al Metcalf, you could be in trouble.
The chances of much come in transition is played into the channel. Cicerone now in the box, options with him, picks out Keko, the low shot, saved on the first attempt. It sits up again, blocked again, and a foul from the back rules it out. And a bit of afters between Keko and Farrow.
Keko had a good first chance there and another opportunity to finish this match off, and just some posturing from Hugo Farrow there. Referee's given the free kick, so there's no need to get more involved.
We'll see it again, because it was a bit of a chaotic sequence. Russell Cicerone.
He sees Keko, picks him out perfectly. Goalkeeper makes the save. There's a coming together. And then, well, I think what he's saying is the whistle went. Why are you shooting? And the push in the back. Can't do that. Keko, he's had a few arguments this match. He's been knocked over a whole load of times. He's been arguing with the referee.
And he is booked, so he has to make sure he keeps that side of his game in check. He doesn't want an argument or the referee to catch referee's attention again, or else they may have to see this one out with 10 men.
But that was nearly the third goal they're looking for, Sac Republic. That's what we say. It's worth them staying on the front foot whenever they can, because a third goal just makes life a lot easier, rather than just try and defend and hold on to their lead.
Ryan dropping a lot deeper from his usual spot up front. Both Luther, Archimed, it's clipped forward. Headed back to the keeper, down for Vitiello, as well as Christian Pirano, both preparing to come on. Well, both warming up, I should say, not necessarily preparing to come on. But those are forward options. Archimed scored the equalizer last game off the bench. An issue with the ball here.
Seems like it's a bit deflated, so not a bad thing from Vitiello just to slow the game down as well. Take a bit of the pace out of the game.
Do you think that was the initial intention, was to slow it down a little bit, or did you think the ball was kind of the primary concern there?
I'm sure the ball wasn't right, but it's, you know, if you're losing, you don't tell the referee. If you're winning, then it makes sense just to take a little bit of the spice out of the game for a moment.
Just on that, with a slightly deflated, fully inflated ball, does that help shooter, goalkeeper, if anybody, when the ball has got a bit of different property to it?
I think it's probably going to help the shooter, because as a keeper, you don't want the ball doing things you're not expecting.
Yeah.
That's when you can mishandle and misjudge.
Some substitutions to happen now here. Coming on, Luther Archimed. You can see the 22. Christian Pirano, brought in this week from San Antonio FC, their rival at the top of the table. He was there for the first half of 2023. And for the first time in the Sacramento Republic kit, in the all black, he'll be coming on in a moment. Luther Archimed also making an appearance. He again off the bench. Just 5 minutes after coming on last game, scored his third goal of the season to equalize at Birmingham Legion. And Keko, a very involved day for him. He'll go off his side, currently leading, and allow for the debut of Christian Pirano.
I mean, these are two wonderful players to bring off the bench. And if you're Loudoun, you're just thinking, wow, we've just, you know, we've had to battle with Cicerone and Keko, and now we've got these two coming on. This is the strength of Sacramento Republic. They go very deep with top quality players.
Now Archimed and Pirano will both kind of break the age mold we established, Gary, at 23 and 24, bringing a bit of youth now to the options for Sacramento.
Yeah, Aldair Sanchez at 21, so there has been much younger players brought on, but again, you're doing it within the framework of older, experienced players, the likes of Keko. So much you can learn from someone with his background in Spain, and Cicerone, one of the top strikers in the USL. For Loudoun now, 2-1, you've got to take risks, throw the extra body forward. Yes, you might get caught in transition and lose 3-1, but you might also get an equalizer. It's worth the risk.
Slid out wide, pass just off there. For you, Gary, just with kind of the youth angle, there is presumably, when there are less established players, more of a pathway into the 11 if you're in that squad. So a team like Loudoun, where there's difficulties with it, less experience, but maybe more of a chance to play versus an established side, so maybe you're an Aldair Sanchez coming on for 30 minutes, the occasional substitution appearance. What is more beneficial? Obviously case by case for different players, but just kind of to assess it for an outfield player for you, Gary, how do you break that down? More time, and maybe not a poorer team in Loudoun, but more opportunity with less infrastructure built around it.
It's a good question. It depends on the player. I think generally players prefer to be surrounded by older players, experienced players that can help you into the system and to be in a winning side. And I think that's a very important point. As a young player, you come into a side like Sacramento Republic, you can do so under less pressure, and you're winning games and you're learning about how to control games. You come in at Loudoun, you're under huge pressure to get results. It's a tense locker room, but at the same time, it teaches you, the other side of football, of soccer. So there's no one answer to that, but both have their benefits.
Pass in the channel for Ahmedkar. Challenge put in, knocked out for a corner. Jack Gurr got a foot in there. Khalil Ahmedkar, he's going on hand towards this one. You can see his coach, Ryan Martin. Whipped in, headed away. Garay, he's got options with him after he recollects it. Osu Landry, headed away, well dealt with by Desmond. Landry recollects. Ahmedkar, probing one forward, Vitiello collects it and falls down.
Good goalkeeping, just killing time now, just trying to, again, take the pace out of the game. You can see the end in sight. And of course, for Loudoun, we mentioned it at half-time, the upcoming games, they play the top 4 in the East after Indy. They've got Pittsburgh, Charleston, New City, and Tampa. It's
difficult.
Yeah, and here they are playing one of the top teams in the West. So it really is a tough spell. If you're playing teams around you, maybe you can pick up the points to make the playoffs, but you're playing the top teams, very difficult.
Switch of play. They want to kill this one off, Sacramento do. Jack Gurr whips in the box, attacking, and Archimed just wide of goal. Trying to make it 2-2 off the bench. That one agonizingly wide. Ready to come on now is going to be Abdul Zane, coming on for Abdul Kawanda. You see it again, just off for Archimed.
Such a good slide from Archimed. It's a great player, and Jack Gurr as well. They know that as soon as he gets wide, they all start bombing into the box.
Represent your favorite USL Championship team as part of the USL Esports Hub launching next week. Join a Konami eFootball tournament on Xbox, PlayStation, or mobile by scanning that QR code on your screen or by visiting rivalgames.com/play/USL to get started. Clever touch immediately off the bench from Zane. Again, heavily involved Zane since coming on. Pass intercepted. Some of the first touches. Christian Pirano breaking forward. Plays a low one. Archimed. Oh, first touch. It works in the end. Maybe not what he intended. But super sub antics yet again from Luther Archimed. 2 goals in 2 matches. And is that the insurance goal they need to end this road trip with another win.
What a great start in his life at Sac Republic for Christian Pirano. He's only been on around about 10 minutes and already he's got an assist. And Archimed, as always, big, strong up front. They combine so well, but this ball just being set up by Christian Pirano, runs at the defense, lovely ball. And yeah, perhaps he was trying to control it, perhaps he did just toe poke it in the back of the net.
He'll say he knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing, but it's a good finish, but it's a great run at the defense by Pirano. And this is the strength you can bring off the bench if you're Sac Republic. And that's a dagger through the heart for Loudoun United, as Mark Briggs says, well done, because they've tried so hard in the second half to get back in this match. And once again, it's their defense that lets them down.
Mark Briggs has to be a very happy man. His substitutes combined to get the third one. Not going to remove all the nerves until that final whistle goes, obviously, but has to put them in a very, as you see Luther Archibald just take off a bit too prematurely to try and get that one going. A very amped up player, as he's got goal number 4 this season for Sac Republic. Now Loudoun have to pick themselves up. They know the task is twice as hard. They were seeking to become only the 2nd team in league play this season to inflict multiple goals against Sacramento. That was New Mexico, who won 3-0 at home. Verano turns just off, trying to pass and pick out Felipe. Abdul Zane. 1-2, a massive coming together between Gur and Zane. Referee's going to pull it back. Likely book Gur for that. Indeed, Jack Gur enters the pocket. Just a massive collision on the near side. You see it again, Gary. It's just a huge coming together after this 1-2.
Yeah, he sort of just, he doesn't get out the way, does he, Jack? That's the nicest way I can put it. Just sort of makes a little bit of a roadblock, but it's also up to Zane to run around him a little bit as well, so he might consider that a harsh yellow card. But we've seen, if all the tackles and problems we've seen have all come from Sac Republic getting stuck into Loudoun and not the other way around. I've seen very little tough tackling and sort of manhandling by any of the Loudoun United side, and that's a part of the game, is how you get to dominate your opposition, and it's been all coming from the visitors.
Over everybody, Viziello will bring it in. Matai Akinmboni has been brought on in place of Giannis Learman, a young 16-year-old defender, making his 5th appearance of the season so far. Continuing that youth trend.
Oh, that's crazy, 16 years of age. Wonderful to see that the faith that Loudoun have in these young players.
Intercepted by Felipe. Jack Gur will bring it back. Out of play.
Well, I think
is that legal?
He's in a hurry. You know, I think they often say if you want to do well, you have to win the majority of your home games. Out of the 14 at home, 15 if you include today, Loudoun have only won 4.
Yeah.
4 out of 15 at home.
Tough.
Yeah, that's just not going to get you anywhere. And I think that's probably where they want to start. They want to make this a fortress. Segra Field, it's not an easy pitch to play on, being turf, so that should be an advantage already.
It's been a big dialogue, especially with Lionel Messi coming to the United States and just with turf being on a lot of fields. What does change is Zane turns up well, cuts it back. We'll get to that in a moment. Nice bit of progression from the player off the bench. Williamson, foot put in well by Gur, and a tackle in response, knocks out a play. Turf versus grass, how does that change the way you play, the way you plan for things?
Well, we didn't have much turf in England, so I think there was only 2 clubs back in the day, QPR and Loudoun, that had turf. And it was the old-fashioned turf where it bounced a million miles high, so no one liked it. But on grass, you get to slide, you know how the ball's likely to bounce on a good grass pitch. There's a certain way of playing which changes the moment you come onto turf. But in America, it is part of the scene, so you have to get used to it. And you have to learn to play with it, and I'm sure Messi, being the great player that he is, he will find a way to make it work to his advantage.
I think he'll be able to handle the adjustment. Abdul Zane, not a positive sign for him. 20-year-old coming off the bench just a moment ago, hobbling off. We'll see if he's.
That's the second time he's been hit, isn't it, since he came on?
You'd have to imagine, especially, I think a substitution will be able to still be made for him. But was wondering if they were out of substitution blocks to make or subs to make. But it appears they've got 1 left to make to be able to make it, so they don't have to drop down to 10. Would hate for there to be any lingering effects from the defeat beyond just the sting that a defeat will always inflict.
All substitutions are brought to you by Segra.
Flicked on by Archimed. Lewis. Boney got a foot in to pass it back to his keeper.
Just looking at Christian Pirano there, just wondering how we got to move from San Antonio to Sac Republic. We didn't get a chance to speak to Mark Briggs, unfortunately, to ask him that, but I'm assuming it's money, because why would San Antonio want to lose a player as good as that to their main rivals? But what a capture for Sac Republic.
4 minutes of added time, what we're hearing coming up, and just a massive addition off the bench and just rotation options. You've already got a player of Russell Cicerone's capabilities up front. When you have someone to push him, to rotate with him, to play with him, it's a scary thought for the rest of the league.
Certainly is. And a scary thought, Sac Republic have gone back on top of the table as this stands. And it's over to San Antonio to see what they can do. And I believe their
match against Monterey Bay just getting underway about 20 minutes ago. They're at home for that one. The opportunity against team second from bottom in the West to try and respond, as all signs point to things heading this way. Christian Pirano, can he get a debut goal to pair with the assist? Picks out Archimed. Felipe, clever touch. Nodded away. See confirmation of the stoppage time. Brought to you by Novak, delivering power you can count on. There's 4 minutes of it. Oh, what a turn. Wins the foul. Bit of frustration from Sanchez. Boney. Into the channel. Flipped forward. Turner will get to it. It'll sit up. The shot, oh, venomous. he was close to having one of the goals of the season.
Absolutely, he has absolutely smashed that from all of 23 or 4 yards out, and it wasn't far over either.
He caught it so sweetly on the second touch. You'll see it just sit up a bit nicely for him. And I mean, our cameras can't even keep up with that. He put so much into it.
Yeah, they've been talking about Cole Turner and pushing him up. They had him as a defensive number 6 for a lot of games, but Ryan Martin said we've been looking to push him a little bit higher up because he's such a good player and offensively dangerous, and we saw it right there. That is a fantastic strike, and very unfortunate not to have either hit the back of the net or certainly forced a good save from Daniel Vitiello.
That one was a bit lower. Not sure there's much he can even do. It was hit with such venom. Williamson, nice first touch. Got someone streaking up with him. It was Ryan trying to come up and offer an option and support, but it'll roll back for Vitiello, who will be in no rush, but now will go along with it. Archimed gets ahead to it. Pirano backs out of the challenge. Flipped forward. Boney has to be aware of the threat. And also coming on was Nelson Martinez. Just confirmation that he came on for Abdul Zane, so the sub unfortunately having to come on and then off after a bit of an injury issue cropped in for the 20-year-old from the Ivory Coast.
I'm just looking at recent games for Loudoun. You know, they have got their defense slightly better in order. And a clean sheet against Vegas. They conceded 2 in the last couple of minutes as Vitiello comes and grabs that. Literally 85th and I think 90th.
Yeah.
So they were unlucky at the end. Clean sheet against Memphis. Conceded 2 at home to Miami, 3 Orange County, 1 against Detroit, 1 against Lou City. So they've been getting things under control. Unfortunately, this one once again has got away from them. 3 goals conceded, and you know, if they could be tighter in defense, they might have got away with a draw, maybe even a 1-0 win. But I guess at the end of the day, it's a very good attack the Sac Republic have. It's a very, very hard team to stop from scoring.
Not many teams in the league have cracked that code. They look to be set to continue their very impressive form. 4 games on the road in a row. Gurr brings in the box. Pirano, oh, just over the goal. Could have made his debut even better after having the assist for the 3rd insurance goal.
And perhaps should have done. He had time on the ball there, Pirano. Sort of keep it low and at least make the keeper make the save, because he's got time, lines it up, and he's going for that top postage stamp corner instead of just keeping it low and trying to get it inside the post.
Stays at 3-1, but this road trip at Las Vegas, 2-1 win, at Monterey Bay, 1-0 win, at Birmingham Legion, a 1-1 draw, but now they appear primed at Loudoun to have a 3-1 victory, unless they add one more here. Lewis cuts it back, trying to pick out Felipe, and a foul committed. Just reaching for that one. That will do it for this one. Sacramento get 10 points from a 4-match road stand and put the pressure on San Antonio to try and retake first in the West. Gary, your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, a good match for Sac Republic. They really dominated most of the match, certainly the first half, latter part of the second half. We'll give Loudoun credit. Ryan Martin made 2 changes at half-time, and they came out firing.
Yeah.
Loudoun got the equalizer, and you're thinking, are we about to see them turn their season around? But in the end, Sac Republic just too good. Loudoun United brave in trying, but just not strong enough physically. And in the end, once again, conceding too many goals.
Too many goals conceded. We will jump ourselves, though, to the save of the game, brought to you by Segra. There were some good ones throughout the day. This one the most impressive for Farouk.
I think you could have picked from 5 or 6. He was fantastic. He made a save from 3-4 yards out when Cicerone turned in the first half and hit it, made a bunch of others. But for the goalkeeper, this becomes a hammering. So to be fair, Sac Republic will look back at it and say, yeah, we should have won the game. But well done, Hugo, for an excellent match for Loudoun United tonight.
Save of the game presented by Segra right there. He had to make 8 of them today. A difficult one on a team collective basis, but individually, always positives to be gleaned from for Loudoun United. Through that one, the full 90, Sacramento continues that strong form and inflicts a bit of pain. Maybe some lessons learned for a youthful Loudoun side who, with 7 matches to go in the season, makes their playoff push a little bit bleaker and more difficult to see. Well, it was a thrilling one. We had 4 goals to show you. We have the full-time highlights and the stats. Full-time, though, Sacramento 3, Loudoun 1. The full-time highlights and stats on the other side of this break on ESPN+. The final score is presented by Segra. It is 3 goals for Sacramento, 1 for Loudoun United. That final from Segra Field in Loudoun County, Virginia. Another road win for Mark Briggs and Sac Republic. They continue to roll. It was a thrilling one, competitive from front to back. We'll look at those full-time highlights, Gary. It really treated us to a lot of opportunities, a real open game, and this is the first goal right here.
Yeah, Cicerone doing so well to get ahead of Farrow, and then Lagrassa with one attempt, and then the knee up, knees up, and he gets the second one. But a good ball in from out wide from Jack Gurd that causes all the problems. Cicerone's so sharp, and Lagrassa there just to pounce it, and they deserve that, but then credit Loudoun United. Yeah. Start of the second half, this beautiful ball. El Madcar has got his head up. He's looking at opportunities here. Keeps going. Saved from Vitiello, but it falls perfectly for El Madcar to finish it off. And that pass came from Husso Landry. And all of a sudden, we had game on. Great pass here. And so well done. And Vitiello probably thought he'd done the job here in making the first save. But luckily for El Madcar, it goes for him. And then we wondered how it would go. But slowly, Sac Republic were getting chances, and then Zico Lewis allowed to turn on the edge of the box. You can see the centre-backs looking at each other going, well, one of us should have closed him down, but he gets to turn that ball. Have a look, ball gets played in, he gets it, turns, nobody closed him down. I think, okay, I'll have a shot. And he bends it away from Hugo Farreau, who up until then had stopped everything. And then just to put the icing on the cake, turnover ball, Christian Perrano, the new signing, and he cuts inside here, waits, puts a lovely little ball through for Archimed, who just toe pokes it, either on purpose or not quite sure, but either way he takes it. 3-1, and that was it. Match over.
Gets the job done with the third one. A brilliant finish in the end, probably. Wasn't it what he intended? I don't think so, but it does the job completely. 3 goals to 1. Your full-time stats here, 19 shots for the visitors, 16 for Loudoun. Not often that you see a team able to pepper Sacramento like they did. Final thoughts from you, Gary, on this one.
Look at the shots on target there. It's 11 for Sac Republic, just 6 for Loudoun, which isn't bad. Again, on offense, they are very, very good, Loudoun United. They just concede way too many, which again, Sac Republic, you understand and accept because they are a wonderful side. Good game. Well done, Loudoun, for fighting back in the second half. But in the end, Sac Republic just too good and too deep coming off the bench.
A big hurt for the playoff push for Loudoun. That post-game show today brought to you by Segra. A playoff push hurt for Loudoun United, while a push to the top of the table for Sacramento Republic boosted a little bit further. Well, for Gary Bailey, I've been Jack Edwards. It's been an absolute blast to call this one. But the final from Segra Field in Loudoun County, Virginia, it's Loudoun United 1, Sacramento Republic 3. That's the final for ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.